welcome to LMU Tri-State News. I'm Ashley Hurley. Thank you for joining us. This year's Lincoln Memorial University's Nancy Rogers Leach Volunteer of the Year Award was presented during the annual homecoming celebration. Wanda Golden Eubank of Andover, Vermont was recognized as an individual who emphasized generosity to their community in giving of resources, talents, and time to improve the quality of life and contribute to the people of their community. Eubank was not able to attend, but fellow members of Zeta Tau Kappa accepted the award on her behalf. Eubank is a 1959 graduate of LMU with her major in the area and expertise in environmental design and management. She is a 2010 inductee into the LMU Professional Hall of Fame and was recognized for her volunteerism and leadership within LMU Zeta Tau Kappa Alumni Association. She supports activities in Andover, including raising funds for scholarships for high school students and volunteering at the polls on election days. Congratulations to her and her astounding services. The community is invited to participate in the upcoming Stand at the Cross this Saturday, November 8th. This is a prayer walk that will take place near Caryville that will lead to the 100 Feet Cross. The walk will commence from the adjacent service road at Interstate 75 and exit 141. Those who plan on walking need to be there at 11 o'clock that morning, and the walk will begin at noon and will be approximately 1.3 miles with prayer points along the way. Buses will be provided for those who are unable to make the prayer walk but desire to make the prayer, praise, and worship program. There will be traffic directors placed at all the ramps and at the cross site. The schedule at the cross will be as follows. 1 to 3 will be the prayer, praise, and worship program at the cross. That will include singing and a dedication to Dr. Edwin Robertson. 3 to 4 will be a departure and a concert by the Singing Gibsons and Sheila Ray Charles. If you would like more information, you can log on to www.citgo.org. Following the success of many fundraisers for the Claiborne County Animal Shelter, coming up this Saturday, there's going to be another dedication ceremony to celebrate. At 10 a.m., the Claiborne Animal Shelter is holding a dedication ceremony for the Arnold Tom Gibson Pet Cemetery. The pet cemetery is going to be located next to the Glen Bowling Animal Shelter. After the ceremony, Carla's Cafe is going to be holding a lunch with 10% of the lunch proceeds going to the shelter. The Claiborne Animal Shelter would like to invite the community to come and see the property where the upcoming cemetery will be placed. Now, coming up after the break, we are branching out to one of our newest viewing areas, and we will find out the results of the latest drug roundup in Bell County. We have that story and more right after this break.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Get your ass out. You're not in here.
Yes, I am.
Move! Give it to him hard!
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Sunday night, Johnson City police officers found a man with several stab wounds before he was transported to the Johnson City Medical Center Emergency Department for treatment. According to witnesses, another male was identified as the one responsible for the stabbing, and then he fled the scene. Shortly after the stabbing, 40-year-old George Rios Ramirez was located when officers responded to an unwanted male at another residence. Rios Ramirez was taken into police custody and taken to the police department, where an interview was conducted, and he admitted to being involved in an altercation with the victim and then stabbing him with a knife. He was arrested and charged with attempted second-degree murder and is being held on a $50,000 bond. His arraignment is set for Tuesday, November 4th in Washington County General Sessions Court. The Kentucky State Police, Post 10 in Harlan, and the Cumberland River Drug Task Force conducted their second drug roundup in Bell County last week. A press release states that troopers and officers set out looking for 25 individuals. The charges against the arrested individuals stem from a year-long investigation into the illegal sale of prescription medication. Out of the 25 they were looking for, 19 were arrested. All of those individuals were lodged in the Bell County Detention Center. The investigations do remain ongoing by the KSP and the Cumberland River Drug Task Force. Others who assisted during the roundup include the Pineville Police Department, the Middlesboro Police Department, KSP Commercial Vehicle Enforcement, and the KSP K-9 section. Two Bell County men face charges after they allegedly broke into a barn. 27-year-old Thomas Hubbard and 26-year-old Dennis Swain were indicted by the Bell County Grand Jury for third-degree burglary and second-degree criminal trespassing. The indictment states that the two men unlawfully entered the property that did not belong to them and broke into the barn. Hubbard was also indicted for being a persistent felony offender. The Bell County Sheriff's Office is in charge of that investigation. Now, over the weekend, a local high school program had a shakeup after the entire coaching staff resigned. Now, are you going to be bringing us an update on what that football program can expect?
What the future expects, we don't necessarily know, but we can tell you about the coaching staff that decided to step down, and we'll do that right after this here on LMU Tri-State News.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Did you take your medicine? Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse.
You need a claim number?
Her personal assistant.
Let me just grab a...
Her housekeeper. Her cook. Her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Welcome back. It was announced last Friday morning that head coach Barry Lyles at Claiborne High School would be retiring. Coach Lyles has spent the last 12 seasons at Claiborne, taking over after Blair Harrison left in the summer of 2003. Lyles will end his tenure at Claiborne with a 48-73 record and an 0-4 record in the playoffs. During his time as the head coach, Claiborne tied a school record for best season with an 8-3 record in 2006 and again in 2009. They hosted 2 postseason games, and the 4 playoff games the Bulldogs went to during the Lyles era are the most by any coach in Bulldog or Blue Devil history. The search for just the second Bulldog coach in school history is already underway. Remind you, Coach Barry Lyles will be on Monday Night Sports Talk on November 10th to discuss his time at Claiborne and what the future of retirement holds for him. Now on the field, the regular seasons in Tennessee and in Kentucky wrapped up last weekend. Let's take a look at some of those scores. For Claiborne Thursday night, they traveled to Rutledge and lost to Granger 34-6. Don't adjust your TVs, that is the right score. Greenville beat Cumberland Gap 82-0 Thursday night, and Campbell County defeated Powell 41-0. In Southeast Kentucky, it was Bell County finishing off Harlan County's season 35-14. Middlesboro got the win over Lincoln 46-7, and it was Williamsburg beating Pineville 46, once again, to 7. Now, the high school playoffs start this week. 4 teams make the playoffs, and this is what the schedule looks like for our area teams. Henry County is at Bell County. Middlesboro will travel to Prestonburg. Pineville will be at Campbellsville, and Morristown West will be on the road at Campbell County. We'll keep you up to date in the following weeks on how those teams do. Moving on to the LMU soccer teams, the men's and women's teams were on the road for what was supposed to be a Saturday doubleheader at Wingate. They would have to wait another day as Mother Nature had different ideas. On Sunday, the games were on, and both Lincoln Memorial teams would have wished they had not. The ladies would find themselves trailing early as the Bulldogs got on the board in the 14th minute, and they would later add 2 more goals in the second half to defeat the Lady Rail Splitters 3-0. The ladies will enter the South Atlantic Conference Tournament on Tuesday as the 4th seed, as they'll play host to 5th-seeded Catawba College. The men's team also found themselves in trouble on Sunday afternoon, needing a victory to help their seeding in the upcoming conference tournament. The Rail Splitters held on strong in the first half, putting up 8 shots but not connecting on any of them, and the 2 teams will go on to the break scoreless. And from there, it was all Wingate. The Bulldogs put up 11 shots in the second half, connecting on 1 in the 51st minute, the 54th minute, and once again in the 60th minute to pick up the victory 3-0. LMU with the loss fell to the 7th seed in the upcoming South Atlantic Conference Tournament. They will have to travel to Mars Hill for a Tuesday evening matchup with the Lions. Now, the LMU volleyball team also spent the weekend on the road, and just like the soccer teams, the volleyball team was in Wingate, North Carolina to face the Bulldogs. Unfortunately for Splitter Nation, the result was the same. 7th-ranked Wingate won in straight sets 25-17, 25-19, and 25-19 to improve to 25-1 overall and stay undefeated at 18-0 in conference play. On Saturday, the ladies made the trip to Hartsville, South Carolina to face Coker College, where the competition was not as fierce, and because of that, the ladies had an easier time as they defeated the Cobras in straight sets, 26-24, 25-19, and 25-23. After the weekend, the volleyball team is at 16-11 overall and 12-7 in conference play. The ladies will wrap up the season this weekend at home against Newberry on Friday night at 7 p.m. and against Anderson on Saturday at 2 p.m. Now, that's all for sports. However, stay tuned. Tiffany, Duncan will be back right after this break with your entertainment report here on LMU Tri-State News.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
This past week, Marvel revealed information about its new movie lineup, and they're calling it Phase 3. And Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige announced this strategy for Phase 3, which includes 9 new movies. Some fan favorite characters assisted in the announcement, including Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Panther. In case you missed it, the actual live stream, here's what happened in a nutshell. Marvel officially announced the title to the next Captain America as Captain America Civil War, out in theaters on May 6, 2016, causing quite an uproar in the fandom. Next to come is Doctor Strange, out on November 4th, 2016, followed with Guardians of the Galaxy 2, out on May 5th, 2017. Thor Ragnarok will hit theaters on July 28th, 2017. Coming next is Black Panther on November 3rd, 2017. Black Panther will mark the first time an African-American character will lead a Marvel film. The anticipated Captain Marvel will arrive on July 6, 2018, marking the first female superhero with her own Marvel film. Inhumans will hit on November 2nd, 2018, And finally ending the list is Avengers: Infinity War Part 1, hitting theaters on May 4th, 2018, and Avengers: Infinity War Part 2 rounds it off on May 3rd, 2019. All movies were immediately released along with their official logo per Business Insider. Marvel instantly released Twitter accounts for new individual superheroes, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, and Black Panther, along with Inhumans at the end of the event. There's your Marvel roundup for the next 5 years. Now that's just Phase 3, and we don't know what Marvel has in store for Phase 4. Comedian Cat Williams and Suge Knight were arrested and charged with robbery. Williams and Knight are accused of stealing a celebrity photographer's camera last month. According to USA Today, Knight, founder of Death Row Records, was arrested in Las Vegas and has a prior conviction for assault with a deadly weapon. The prior convictions in association with the alleged robbery could land Knight up to 30 years in prison if convicted. Williams was arrested in Los Angeles area courthouse while appearing for an arraignment in a separate assault case. Williams will face up to 7 years in prison if convicted. Knight and Williams are accused of taking a paparazzo's camera outside of a Beverly Hills studio in California on September 5th, according to the Huffington Post's reports. Now coming up after the break, Joseph Lewis evaluates Jake Gyllenhaal's performance in Nightcrawler.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Her nurse, her personal assistant.
I'm Joseph Lewis, bringing you all the latest information in the world of movies. Tops at the box office last weekend included the Jake Gyllenhaal drama Nightcrawler, opening at #1 with $10.9 million. Ordinarily, this tiny figure would be surprising based on the film's strong word of mouth, but in this case, the blame can be assigned to its Halloween release date, a historically weak Friday for ticket sales. Following at #2 was last week's winner Ouija, following just a few thousand short of Nightcrawler's $10.9 million pull and bringing its total domestic gross to $35 million. And sticking around at #3 yet again was wartime actioner Fury, pulling in another $9 million toward its current respectable $60 million gross. Coming to theaters this week at long last is Interstellar, the latest film from Christopher Nolan and his first since 2012's The Dark Knight Rises. This large-scale science fiction saga begins on Earth in the not-too-distant future at a time when resources are limited and the environment is no longer sustainable. Enter Matthew McConaughey as Cooper, a widowed engineer called upon to join a team of scientists and explorers intending to make a journey through space and time via a newly discovered wormhole that may hold the key to humanity's future. Multiple trailers for Interstellar have been released, and each one has been better than the last, highlighting outer space visuals and special effects that bring to mind last year's Gravity, and conveying a sense of emotional depth that recalls Nolan's own Inception. Joining McConaughey on this voyage is an impressive supporting cast including Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Wes Bentley, Casey Affleck, Topher Grace, and Nolan regular Michael Caine, and at 169 minutes, this film is sure to be an adventure that is epic on multiple levels. Interstellar opens this Friday, November 7th. Also opening this week is Big Hero 6, Disney's latest foray into computer animation based on the Marvel superhero comics of the same name. The story is set in the futuristic city of San Francisco, centered around a young robotics expert named Hiro Emada and his giant inflatable robot companion, Baymax. After a series of misadventures forms a close bond between human and cyborg, the two happen upon a criminal plot that threatens the city and, seeking justice, they scour the nooks and crannies of the streets and build an unlikely team of inexperienced crime fighters much like themselves. One of the most appealing things about Big Hero 6 is that despite names like TJ Miller, Maya Rudolph, and James Cromwell in the voice cast, nothing about the movie or its marketing seems to be banking on star power. Directed by Chris Williams and Don Hall, the film looks to be a creative, funny, and endearing action adventure, one that's already garnered numerous excellent reviews, making it perfect family fare for the month of November, and certainly well-timed in the superhero-free interim period leading up to Avengers: Age of Ultron. Big Hero 6 can be seen in theaters this Friday, November 7th. Now playing in theaters, as previously mentioned, is Nightcrawler, a drama with a serious satirical edge that stars Jake Gyllenhaal as Lou Bloom, an ambitious up-and-comer who infiltrates the seedy underground world of freelance crime journalism in Los Angeles. From exploiting real crimes and emergencies to meticulously staging stories for the benefit of his career, Lou adopts a dog-eat-dog life that proves lucrative for him but dangerous for his associates. Whether it's making power plays against Rene Russo's enticing news director Nina or plotting the demise of Bill Paxton's sleazy freelancer Joe Loader, Lou stops at nothing to get ahead, and the fact that his persistence is met mostly by reward rather than dire consequences makes Nightcrawler a biting commentary on the meaning of success. Writer and first-time director Dan Gilroy brings the dark side of the American dream to life in this film, asking what happens when a young upstart dedicates himself wholly to his own success, and answering that question in a way that's stylish, darkly funny, and pessimistic. It isn't so much the thrill-a-minute second coming of Drive that the neon-coated trailers promise, but like that film, it centers around a man driven by an idea and follows him down the dark, lurid path that follows. Its commentary on today's news media, lacking in morals, ethics, or basically anything resembling humanity, recalls the Paddy Chayefsky classic Network, and is mirrored in Jake Gyllenhaal's singular performance, a gaunt, crazy-eyed depiction of a man whose empathy got flushed down the toilet a long time ago. The film's episodic structure holds its pace back a bit, but each section is so shrewdly written and beautifully filmed that it still adds up to an engaging, memorably bleak character study. Also playing this week in limited release is Birdman, the first film in 4 years from Mexican film director Alejandro González Iñárritu, the terrific talent behind Amores Perros and 21 Grams. Michael Keaton stars as has-been superstar Regan Thompson, who after years of being known only for playing iconic superhero Birdman, attempts to make a comeback by directing and starring in a Broadway play. As his life hurtles toward opening night, he struggles to save his fledgling career and his collapsing family, all the while trying to keep his bloated, destructive ego in check. The film is unforgiving in its depiction of Regan's narcissism, allowing Keaton to hysterically talk his ego down off the ledge anytime a colleague or family member bluntly tells him why he's a horrible person, a type of conversation that occurs with alarming frequency. Movies are so rarely truly unique that when something like Birdman comes along, you have to sit there and smile. Iñárritu's latest is a tour de force if there ever was one, not only because of the powerful emotional arc at its center, but also because of the innovative, deliriously cinematic way in which it's executed. Presented in large part as one single, continuous take, Birdman's aesthetic makes perfect sense. It's big, showy, and daring seemingly just for the sake of being so. The way it transitions from scene to scene and makes the viewer sit up and watch with curiosity also recalls the dimly lit scene changes one experiences in theater, which makes the approach feel even more of a piece with the content. Regan would love this movie if he were able to see outside his own head, but can he? That's the subject of Birdman, and it's a moving, visually kinetic experience that overwhelms the viewer with its cacophony of intense dialogue and incessantly drumming score. There are also some inspired moments of magical realism involving Regan's superheroic alter ego that are totally ingeniously bizarre. And then there's Keaton's performance, an inherently meta turn for the former Caped Crusader that shows no concern for vanity or likability and makes for one of the best things he's ever done as an actor. Like probably no other movie you'll see in 2014, Birdman takes your expectations of what a film can be and pummels them. In all its weird, wild glory, it's one of the best movies of the year. That's all for this week in the world of movies. I'm Joseph Lewis, and we'll be back after these messages.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Starting Wednesday, Disney on Ice is rolling into Knoxville, Tennessee. Get ready to see all the Disney princesses and heroes you can imagine. Ariel, Belle, and even Frozen's Elsa and Anna will be in attendance, among others. The Disney princesses' heroic adventures come to life starting November 5th and will play out through the 9th at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. To purchase tickets and to gain more information on this event, visit knoxvilletickets.com. Now, believe it or not, it's almost that time of year, and yes, I'm speaking about Christmas time. As always, everyone is getting started before we've even cut the Thanksgiving turkey. But if we're going to start early, then why not start at the Inn at Christmas Place in Pigeon Forge? On November 5th and 6th, the Inn at Christmas Place will host 3 performances of A Christmas Carol. Gerald Charles Dickens, the great-great-grandson of the literary master Charles Dickens, will be performing this timeless tale in a one-man delivery. For tickets to see this story, call the hotel at 865-868-0525. The Polar Express is already geared up and ready for the season. The train ride will begin on November 7th and will be in operation all the way through December 29th. The memorable journey begins in Bryson City, North Carolina, and travels through the Smoky Mountains for a special visit to the North Pole. The round-trip journey lasts for a little over 1 hour and includes warm cocoa and a read-along of the magical story with a visit from Santa himself. To book your tickets, visit gsmr.com/events. That's a look at a few options of events in our area in the next coming weeks. If you've got an event to share with us, let us know on our Facebook page, LMU-TV. I'm Monique Derico with your local entertainment on the LMU Tri-State News.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
And that is going to do it for this week's LMU Tri-State News. For everyone behind the scenes, I'm Ashley Hurley.
I'm Adam Haley.
And I'm Tiffany Duncan.
Join us next week for another edition of LMU Tri-State News.